Hello, everybody, and welcome to BetterQuest, a show about getting better and holding each other accountable. I'm Ben Hanson, and I'm joined by trusty co-host Jeff Cork.
Hey, how's it going, buddy? Ow, 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 ow.
The Corkmeister. It's weird having your beard kind of cut off by the camera. It's like, it looks almost like a rational human beard, but if you can't tell and you don't have a frame of reference, his beard actually goes down to his toes and then wraps around his ankles several times. It's
tied in several knots, like one of the characters from a Dr. Seuss book, but not the one you're thinking about.
Mine out of the gutter, people. How you doing over there, Corky?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing, buddy?
Good. It's been busy. Like, I think I've talked to you about it before, and this is definitely something I cover a lot in MinnMax Council or Patreon exclusive podcast, but like, it's weird and emotional running something like a Patreon where just the numbers are always going up and down, and what freaks you out is you realize like it's all just like good vibes and momentum, you know? And so it feels like we're kind of in a good vibe zone right now.
Okay.
And it's
you're not comfortable with that?
What's that?
You're not comfortable with that, or it's just weird?
No, I'm comfortable with it. It feels good. It's just like that weird feeling of like the numbers aren't radically different, but it just feels like, okay, we brought Sarah Podzorski on board. She's our streaming compatriot, and then we're going to be streaming 2 times a week. So like that's hopefully a fun announcement for people. And then just like small things really make a difference. Like both Janet Garcia and I were on the Kind of Funny Games Daily podcast. Like she hosted it and I was the co-host. And like just like that avalanche of positive comments about like Janet and MinnMax and those comments like meant the world. Cause like at this point, I think that's like the #1 gaming podcast. It's like, okay, good. Like we're both on there. We made a good impression. That's great. And then this is like weird and dark maybe, but like with Giant Bomb kind of going through a reboot and kind of it's in a weird spot right now. Like I've seen a lot of comments of people just being like, I don't like, where should I look if I'm interested in maybe another, gaming outlet out there? And like there's a lot of folks just like on Reddit or on Resetera being like, oh, check out MinnMax, which is like, it's those types of things. Like, okay, it feels like we're building to something. I think we're starting to like get on a bit of a downslope, even if the numbers aren't radically different,
Oh wow. So in a few years I'll be calling into this show. You'll be big timing me. Is that what you're essentially getting to?
That's right. And we're here to announce that actually Janet Garcia is the new co-host of BetterQuest. Bring her on in, folks. Out with the old, in with the new. Get those old gray beards out of here.
I can dye it. I'm absolutely willing to dye it.
Please, I have no shame. Baby. Would you ever dye your beard? Did you ever consider doing that?
I thought about doing it because I think it would be funny just to like show up one day and to have like completely jet black beard, and also like parts of my lips are black as well because I'm not good at applying dye. But like in terms of like doing it because I'm like, oh, I gotta look cool. It's like I've really blown it by like appearing in all those videos and everything over the years because people could do a side by side and say, wait, this guy's a fraud.
Wait a minute, he's a monster. How's everything going over there for you?
Oh, it's going really, really well. Yeah. It's been very. It's a different mindset now, which I'm very excited about.
Hang on, if I might just cut you off right now, I need to talk about this Patreon a little bit more. No, would you mind lowering your mic just a little bit more? Oh,
I don't want to blast your eardrums out with all my cool thoughts.
Yeah, by the way, we should mention this is BetterQuest. We're going to be talking about getting better and setting monthly goals for each other. That's what this show is all about. And then we're going to be taking some community calls and then setting new goals for the month of May. So if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for being here. You can set your own personal goal for the month of May and then jump in the Discord, which you get access to if you support us at any tier on Patreon, and jump in the BetterQuest channel where there's a spreadsheet. You can share what your goal is, give people an update on how you're doing. You can participate in some community group calls every Monday just to hold each other accountable. It's easy to say, I want to lose weight, but anybody can just say that and it just goes right out the window. But this is a way for you to actually talk to other people, encourage them, have them encourage you. And so it's a nice positive aspect. So jump on in there and be friendly, y'all. Also, If you support us at the $5 tier on Patreon, you can unlock the podcast version of BetterQuest. So you can get the podcast version of this, also podcast version of The Deepest Dive, which is a huge community game club discussion, all of them that we've done in the past, all of our upcoming ones, including the one that we're launching very soon for Mass Effect 1, which should be a very good time. You might have a friend or two of yours on there, Jeff Cork.
I may have spoken to someone who might be on.
Interesting. So please look forward to that, and then all of our interviews and a bunch of other fun bonuses there. All right, Jeff Cork, that's the Patreon stuff out of the way. Now, back to you.
I could have just turned my mic all the way off if you'd prefer.
Okay, no, how you said it's different.
Yeah, it's different. It's great. It's nice to have a little distance now between what I'm doing now and what I was doing for a long time before. And just to feel like, just to recognize, like, there was a lot of it that I absolutely loved and will miss forever. And then there was a lot of stuff that just wasn't healthy for me. So just like, it became like kind of an all consuming thing. Like there was a state of play that I found out that it was happening the day that it happened. And I did not watch it or have any interest in watching it, just because I'm like, you know what? I want to be surprised by this stuff when I play these games.
Yeah, and so that's the thrill. It's just like, I'm going to check out from gaming news every once in a while, and I know that it's going to be possible to just completely miss some stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
So just for context, Jeff Cork, you're at Game Informer for how many years?
14.
Okay, and then when did you leave?
2 months ago.
Yeah, and now you're in the indie PR world, which is cool.
Yes, sir.
I'm interested in the part where you say you don't think it's healthy for you to stay glued into a state of play, or is it just to be that glued into gaming?
Just be glued into it, like, where it was just like the hobby that just kind of crept into every aspect of my life in a way that I enjoyed it, but it was probably like, I just thought about video games too much, if we're being honest, you know what I mean? It's like, and I think ultimately I was getting a little burned out.
But you didn't realize it at the time.
No, I think everything feels a lot better now. Yeah.
Oh, good.
This is probably the way to say it.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Are you still playing as many games, or?
Oh, hell no. No, absolutely not. It reminded me a lot of like that phenomenon that you have after you go to E3 or something, where you're just like, you come home and you're just like,
yeah,
I don't want to play anything. I just want to sit and watch TV or like talk to people or do something like that.
Right.
I think I'm getting out of that. Like I was playing It Takes Two. Excuse me. I was playing It Takes Two, some co-op, and having a really good time with that. And I'm kind of looking forward to Resident Evil Village and everything. So it's not like I'm like disavowing video games or anything like that, but it's just kind of like there's a lot of stuff that is like, I can have a more finely tuned filter where it's like, I don't have an obligation to play stuff because I don't have to be worried about end of year lists or, oh, someone's got to be able to speak about this on a podcast and everything like that. So it's great.
Yeah. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but like, just as a frame of reference, I'm always fascinated by that idea that Matt Helgeson reviewed Last of Us Part 1, gave it a 9.5, then left the game industry and has not played Last of Us Part 2. Like, this is such a wild thing.
Yeah.
Just to be like, he'll probably get to it at some point, but like the first game was so huge for him. At the same time, it's like, pressure's off. Once you're out of the rat race, it's like, you'll get to it when you get to it. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's a wild and different thing. Have you heard of the game Before Your Eyes, Cork?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I have not. I've just heard that there's a thing and it's supposed to be very good.
Yes.
Which is expert analysis you can only get here.
You should get into the games press, man. You should like write reviews for 13 years.
Yeah, voice of a generation.
I don't want to hype it up too much, but I think it'd be a nice little palate cleanser. It's like an hour and a half, and it is one of the best ideas I've ever seen from a video game. Like, do you know the premise?
No.
Do you want to know the premise?
Should I just go in cold? Do you think would I enjoy it more just going in blind?
Yeah. I mean, if you really know absolutely nothing about it, it would be freaking fascinating. Here's all I'll say is you need a webcam to play it.
Okay. Well, I don't have that, so now what?
Yeah, I guess you're screwed. Yeah. Hour and a half, Before Your Eyes. It is It has so many awesome ideas in it. It's a really cool thing. So I thought of you while playing it. Like, I think this is a Cork thing.
Cool. So it's kind of a bad boy anti-hero.
What if you just play it and it's like basically Death Spank 3? Like, cool, I guess. I don't know how you thought of me, but that's fine. So your goal for last month, let me get it correct here. You wrote down, get comfortable doing every aspect of new job, shooting for confidence.
Yes.
Reach out to other PR folks and ask for tips.
Yes.
All right, break it all down. How'd you do?
Yeah, I absolutely nailed the first one.
Oh.
Yeah. I won't say I have mastered every aspect of it, because I was thinking about it. I was revisiting my goal. I was like, I don't know if I have mastered it. Then I was like, if I can master in 2 months what my boss has been doing for a decade, that's unreasonable. And I don't want that. I don't want to be that, you know what I mean? But I've definitely gotten way more comfortable. Like, one of the things that just caused a lot of anxiety was the idea of sending out like mass emails to people.
Yeah.
That idea, because I've gotten so many emails over the years that whether or not they suck, I've seen them that just have like technical blunders, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, hello, last name, first name. Like, nope, that's not my name. Or, hey, Jeff spelled wrong. I'm like, oh boy, I know that all these things can go wrong. And now if it's me. I
got an email the other day and it said to my MinnMax email and said, hey, Ben Hanson, would you like to book our CEO on the Game Informer Show podcast? I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I'll send him on over to you.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. So just hitting send on an email that's going out to, I mean, how many people are you sending these out to at a time for your PR job?
Several hundred.
Oof.
Yeah. But like the first time, it was one of those like a shared screen experience, and Lizzie's walking me through every step and I'm like agonizing over it.
Ooh.
And then this morning it was just like, I did one and it's like, I was like half listening to another meeting at the same time. It's just completely like not a big deal at all now. I'm just like,
wait, are you telling me the email you sent me 8 hours ago is not,
what's that?
I said, you telling me the email you sent me 8 hours ago is not a big deal with the headline, Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl pre-order now live on Xbox Game Store?
Yeah. I did not lose sleep over hitting send on that one. Yeah.
It's good facts here. It's really weird to get like press releases from you, man. Cause like, oh, Jeff Cork email. What is it? Like you make me do a double take. So I guess good job on the PR front.
Yeah. There you go, baby.
What could he possibly want? But like, yeah, I mean, the goal wasn't to master the new job. It was to get comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely comfortable with it. Yeah.
And it's just that thing of mass emails, or is there other stuff that you're still trying to get comfortable with?
Just a lot of stuff, like a lot of like spreadsheety reporting type stuff, which is like a whole new world. And I've kind of gotten into a rhythm with that where it's like put some music on and just do that kind of thing. And it's, yeah. So I'm way more comfortable with all of it, and just like leading meetings and writing call agendas and just like the stuff that is not super sexy, but is important to stay organized and on top of stuff. Yeah. Is that your office or just like your streaming space? Are you working out of that freaky room? I'm working out of this freaky room.
Is it cold in there?
It is very cold in here, actually.
It looks like it. It looks frigid.
Yeah. I have a blanket on my lap. Yeah.
Oh, that's cozy. But you didn't reach out to other PR folks to ask for tips or anything?
I did not reach out to other PR people to ask for tips.
You jerk. Why not? Why are you being a coward at the end? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I guess that's
fine. I don't have a good explanation. It wasn't like I wrote something and I deleted it 15 times. I just couldn't find it. I was like, I don't want to artificially. It felt like one of those things, like that window had kind of shut at that time. You know what I mean? Where it's like that first week it would have been good, but I don't know. Maybe I should just reach out to those people and say hi.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
That seems good. So what, do you think you passed this goal? Succeeded on the goal?
I would say the important part was the first part.
Yes. That
was the bulk of that. And I would say yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
My goal for last month was I have a very sensitive baby stupid stomach. And so I was trying to just eliminate some possible reasons for that. And so I went the entire month without cheese and without spicy stuff.
Okay.
Because it's like, basically the kryptonite is if I was feeling lazy and then I just go and make a nice tortilla in the microwave, quesadilla in the microwave, and just coat it in sriracha. Like every time I had that, I was like, what am I doing? This is a nightmare. And so that was just kind of like the focus point of what I was trying to eliminate from my life. And boy, did I do it. I went the month without it. And I actually expanded it where early on, I was like, you know what? Forget cheese. I'm going to go no dairy because I don't think it'd be that much harder because cheese is that's the Whopper. And so I got rid of dairy for the entire month. But then like, I think we posted the BetterQuest on a Friday. And on that Friday, my girlfriend and I went on a trip. And I went to a coffee shop like that Friday morning and got like a yogurt thing. Like granola. What's Yoplait? What's it called? What's the word I'm looking for?
Yogurt.
Yeah, but yogurt where it's got like fruit in it and
like
granola.
Parfait?
Parfait. Yeah, I got a parfait and it was like several bites into it before I was like, oh, damn it, this is dairy, isn't it? But ever since then, I think I've made it the entire month.
Yeah.
But it turns out it really sneaks up on you. Like, you know, you'll see a pizza place and it's like, oh my gosh, our Airbnb is right next to a pizza place. I can't wait to go there. It's going to be so much fun. Oh no, can't go to a pizza place. Pizza for an entire month, 0. It's been brutal. Yeah. And then like cheese starts popping up everywhere, you know, like I have those cool little Indian packets. I never would have thought. Then on the front, turns out, it says it's got cheese inside of it. So I can't have like the heatable little packets there. I went to play board games at Grant's, Star of Hitman 3's place. And then he just had a big bowl of Cheez-Its. I was like, wow, I'll show it. And it's like, wait, no, Cheez-Its aren't really cheese, but still, I think I did not have one. Did not have one, but it sneaks up on you.
So were you looking at labels and things? Like if it had just been Triscuit, would you have thought, like, I don't know if the Triscuits most certainly don't contain dairy, but bear with me. Like a chicken and a biscuit, for instance. I'm sure that has some kind of whey. I wasn't
that meticulous. I mean, technically, I think I had a slice of cake or something. Okay. It's like, there's probably dairy and frosting or something like that. So I wasn't that meticulous about it in that way, but just in the larger sense. But there's like, tell me if this counts and where I land on it. But there's moments of like going to get a little bit of Asian food. And then like I was dipping some pork pot stickers and I was like, crap, it's like sweet and spicy chili dip sauce. So I technically had that, but it's like very low on that spice meter. So I think it flew under the radar, and I think I can still count it as a success.
Okay. Let me ask a question. I'm going to try to do this as tactfully as possible.
Thank you.
This past month, what was your farting life like?
Farting life was good. It was almost off the charts. I don't think it really had a huge impact, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
So it didn't really accomplish anything for you? You still felt as unsettled as always? Maybe
like 15% better on the tummy rumbling scale, but not that much better. But it was fine. But, you know, I can't wait to... Here's my dream situation. I don't think it's happening, but if I just like walked upstairs after this recording and it was just like the table had a big platter of Applebee's mozzarella sticks that I could just dip into sriracha, that would be the cream dream thrill of a lifetime.
You're saying you don't think this is going to happen?
I don't think it's happening. I smell something being cooked upstairs, but I don't think it's Applebee's mozzarella sticks, as far as I can tell. But yeah, I'm glad I did it, and now I'm very excited to eat some pizza. Eat some pizza. Cork, are you ready to try and take a community call?
Why not?
All right. I think we're a little bit ahead of schedule, but let's see if this will actually work. Hello?
Hello. I'm sorry. I tried to pick up and it just didn't.
That's fine. Kelsey Lewin, everybody. Friend of the show.
That's me.
Welcome. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. You're on the line with Jeff Cork.
Hello.
Hi.
Jeff Cork, let me tell you why Kelsey Lewin is so nice from the Video Game History Foundation is she reached out to me and asked if she could be on BetterQuest.
You're kidding.
I didn't even have to bug her. I bug her about every other thing under the sun, and this was one where she bugged me.
What?
I just have a lot of things to work on about myself, so this is a...
It's
This seemed like a
impossible.
no-brainer.
That's amazing.
You
Thank
gotta
you.
have me on.
Yeah, thank you for being aware that the show exists. That's the part that blows my mind.
I listen to it every month. I like it.
Oh my God, that's incredible. Do you have anything that we can do better with the show? Should we focus on some things more? Less talk about Cork Spirit or more?
And I feel like that's probably what gets your female audience
Yep.
in here, right? Is
Yep.
the beard talk?
Yeah, we can
Oh, yeah.
track the analytics on YouTube and it's off the charts. But
I
Kelsey,
think just even saying the word beard is like the eyes light up and you get all kinds of new people in here. So
yep, the eyes light up so they can quicker find the X on their YouTube window. What would you like to work on in particular, Kelsey? What stands out to you this month?
yeah. So my goal for this month is I'm really bad at managing my sleep schedule. I think a lot of people are. I don't think that's like a weird flaw of mine, but I am so much more productive when I'm simply out of bed by 8 a.m. I'm almost always awake by 8 a.m. I am never out of bed for like at least an hour after I
Yes.
wake up. I'm just the laziest person in the morning. So my goal for this month is to be like standing out of my bed before 8 a.m. I'm saying 6 days a week because I assume there's going to be like one day where I just have to be up super late and it just doesn't make sense and I need to catch up on sleep on a weekend or something. But 6 days a week, I want to
Standing.
be out of bed.
Okay, now does it count if you're out of bed before 8 or at 8? What's the...
Has to be before. So
Before
it could be,
8.
I mean, it could be 7:59, but
Right.
it has to be like, I have to be standing up before the clock strikes 8.
Yep, the bed becomes lava at 8. Does it count if you're then standing next to your bed, but you're still like in that bed-like daze, which I imagine is just like checking your phone and staring at the ceiling and stuff?
I mean, I think the point is that I can't like go and sit down or lay down on the couch and spend an hour as if I was in bed. Like I have to start doing something. It can be just, drinking coffee and looking at my phone a little bit, but I don't want to sit back down.
It is. I'm totally with you. It's really been sneaking up on me too about just, I won't even have my phone on me because that's like plugged in across the room, but I will wake up and I'll just like stare at the ceiling and just worry about
yeah.
stuff for like 40 minutes. Like it flies by how much time you can just spend in just the most wasteful state possible.
And I'm with you. It's not even necessarily looking at the phone or anything. It's just my brain just isn't awake, and all I can do is stare at the wall and think about all the possible things that can happen today instead of like doing any of them.
Yeah. And then like the few times that I do actually like crack my own whip and it's like, all right, I'm woken up and then I'm immediately out of bed. It feels like, oh, I feel like I have half of a day extra on this day. It feels like there's so much time that allows. It's like I'm out of the shower. I've eaten
exactly
breakfast. It's just so much time is just wasted.
It's like even if I have just one extra hour in the day, that 1 hour feels like 4 hours.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So what are you going to do with your 4 hours then?
Probably just get started on work earlier because I'm usually just kind of wiped no matter how long I've spent on work by 5 or 6 or so. I can do a little bit of like lighter stuff, but I can't do any kind of meaningful work, deep work, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah.
So just I don't know, try to get my day started earlier and be a little more productive, get more done.
How do you divide everything between working at the Pink Gorilla Game Store in Seattle? Awesome game store. Please go check it out. With the Video Game History Foundation. Do you have like certain days on and off for each?
Yeah, I mostly, I mean, it bleeds over. They bleed over into each other a little bit, but I'm all Pink Gorilla from usually Thursday through Sunday. And those are just, I do very little Video Game History Foundation work on those days and then take Mondays off. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes Thursday is all Video Game History Foundation. So I guess Thursday's the swing day.
Yeah. Is it stressful?
Yeah, I really, really wish if we either had like 8-day weeks or I could just pick one. I don't know. Like I would be doing such better work at either one of these if I had a little bit more time.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can give up the one day off that I have. That one seems kind of crucial.
Yeah, well, here's what you could do. If you want to be radical about this frickin' thing, you could like cut an hour out of your sleep and make sure you're like snappy out of bed. And then it would be like you're gaining a ridiculous amount of time in your day. But I don't want to push you.
Well, I want to make sure I'm getting good sleep first.
Okay.
I feel like because that's part of the goal too. It's not just that I feel better and more productive when I'm awake earlier, but also that, if I'm only getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep, that's, even if I'm up early, that's probably not helping anybody, right?
Yeah. Well, best of luck to you. I guess you're welcome to call back in next month. And if you don't succeed at this, we're going to ridicule you like you could not believe.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
That's exactly why I wanted to come on the show. Because I need that pressure. I need to know that you will hate me if I don't. If I can't accomplish this.
Big time. I mean, we're going to both look at the camera and say video game history and then give a big thumbs down.
Your history.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye-bye.
And then we're going to burn some documents.
No.
My God, we'll
Not the document.
We need those. Well, hey, best of luck, Kelsey. We're all rooting for you. And be sure to jump in that Discord channel for some motivation every once in a while if you need it.
I will. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for calling in. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Now, in calling her, we hung up on somebody else. Let's try calling this person back. Hello, mystery caller.
Mystery caller checking in.
The audio sounds different, but it's like some sort of Bob Buell in a space tin can. You sound great, Bob.
Thanks. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Mr. Cork.
Yeah. What's going on over there, Bob?
Oh, who, me? Oh, is this when I say it? I leveled up. From last month.
Yay! Cork said you could never do it. He called you a coward off air.
And a fool.
That, even though it
Get
was
the whole quote.
All fair.
Your goal,
more than fair.
Your goal was to write a video essay about Metal Gear Solid 2. Is that right?
That is correct. I've had a gem of an idea spinning in my brain for literally years now, and I've never done a video essay of any kind, and I wanted to dip my toes into trying it. So I'm going slow, and my goal last month was just to do the outline for it, basically, put together all my sources and get a quick, A into B into C into D, and whatever letters follow that. And I think I did that.
Nice.
I feel very good about it. I feel it's in a pretty good point right now.
Have you read through it out loud yet?
I have done fake monologues of it while going for walks or like in the shower. But that is about as far as I've got.
And furthermore, Solidus Snake was robbed of his rightful heir.
Shopkeepers slamming their shutters as you pass by.
Well, that's beautiful, Bob. I mean, the tricky part is capturing all the footage now from Metal Gear Solid 2.
This is correct. This is what this month's goal is actually going to be. Basically getting, if I need to, tighten up the outline into a script form, that's on the agenda, and capturing any B-roll and footage and all sorts of fun stuff. Well, Metal Gear Solid 2 did just come out on Good Old Games, maybe like a month or two ago, correct me wrong.
Yeah.
So that should definitely help in the process. I can get some good HD, that's high definition for those in the know, HD footage of it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That'll be fun to like play through it with that goal in mind. Because if you ever like captured gameplay before, you kind of got to play it in a little more cinematic of a style,
I have not. I could really bunk this one up. But that is very good advice, actually, to go a little more cinematic with it, a little more, I don't know, not goofing, I suppose is the term. Yeah,
not goofing. But I mean, I guess with the camera control in 2, like you can't bungle it that badly. Plus, like your secret weapon, Bob, this is like, I don't know how, honestly, I'd be intimidated to make a video essay about Metal Gear Solid 2 because of the main theme. The main theme musically is an 11 out of 10. It is a juggernaut. And so if you use that, it's like an atomic bomb of emotional power. And so you can't waste it. You can't have it like looping under the whole video, but like the section of the video that you do have it under, if you want to use it, you need to stick that landing, dude.
This is vital advice that I didn't even think of. I had a bomb on me, a nuclear bomb of music.
Yeah.
Music. It's important legally to say of music here.
Fat man put it on you.
Yes, I think you're exactly correct. Because specifically my I don't think I ever said this. My essay is about the very ending of Metal Gear Solid 2, which, hot take, has been done a lot, but there was one overarching mystery about the ending of Metal Gear Solid 2 that they never, ever answered. And I know, shocking, Kojima not answering something, but it's been bugging me for 20 years, and I think I finally found an answer to it. And, well, gosh darn it, I want the internet to know.
Do you want to spoil it now, or do you want to save it?
I don't. Well, I'll give a little tease for it. How about this? I won't spoil it.
Yeah.
There's no spoiling. But if you recall, the very end of the game, when you fight Solidus on top of the building,
yeah,
and you do the little dramatic final blow, and then he like stumbles backwards, and then all the music drops out, and all the sound drops out, and like it just is like that heartbeat slow-mo sound effect, and Solidus like says words and then falls backwards off the side of the building. But because of that dramatic slow-mo, they're completely silent. So his final words are just like nothing. And for 20 years, it kind of bugged me, like, why? Like, it has to be something, right?
Yeah.
And through a fair amount of research, I found out what they are.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't know. I'm interested.
Do you count
I hope other people are.
Would you also count his final words, kind of his writhing in pain in Metal Gear Solid 4 when he's in the body bag and he's like, ah. I mean, those are kind of his final words in a way, right?
Clackety clack of his weird skeleton teeth hitting the bag. Yeah, I suppose.
It's really beautiful. Cool. And Bob Buell, just to be clear, what do you want your final words to be in real life?
Clackety clack, writhing in pain in a bag, preferably.
All right, we'll see what we can do. Thanks for calling in and thanks for being a good member of the community, Bob.
Bye, Bob.
Thanks, clackety clack, guys.
Bye, clackety clack, dude. God, I want to play Metal Gear Solid 2 right now, and I don't want to stop.
That in forever.
Like since 2001, do you think?
No, I think I played it right before I played Metal Gear Solid 4.
Okay. Yeah, I remember I replayed it right before 4. So yeah, I think I'm in the same ballpark where it's been, I mean, that was 2008. So, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Hello, John Skovic, otherwise known as Killslayer.
That's me. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, good, but loud. Welcome. How's it going, sir? We got you covered over here. You're fine. You're fine. Thanks for accepting our request to have you on the show.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. How did you find MinnMax? What's your journey, sir?
I was a early Game Informer convert, I guess, like Twisted Metal replay era, I guess, and all the way through there. And then, followed various people to various other outlets along the way, and here I am.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Do you remember how crappy that old video player was where you had to watch the Twisted Metal replay?
Yeah.
Some would say unusable, but it's all gone now. The video player. It's a real disaster.
Perfect.
So glad we
all that history gone. Wipe the videos.
Well, to be fair, I mean, only one's been wiped. But I really enjoyed that Leo was largely the one responsible for this, but Leo actually went and brought a lot of those old classic replays onto YouTube just to make sure they weren't lost in the old video player and stuff over at Game Informer. So it's nice that all those classic replays are up on YouTube for folks to dig through and hopefully be up until the end of time.
And are you positive he wasn't just replaying those games like that story he told that one time where he had to re-record the footage because he lost it?
That's right. Yeah, I guess we're not quite sure. Yeah, the fact that the Twisted Metal one was captured in 240, I would hope that he hadn't replayed it and captured it that same quality.
Yeah, he downscaled it to 240 to fake you all out.
Smart.
Yeah.
The Be Kind rewind situation.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, hey, John, thanks for calling in. You're working on a little game dev project, I hear.
Yeah, so the kind of catalyst for this is that I went to school for game dev, but graduated in 2016. So for like 5 years out, and realized that I hadn't really... I do some for work here and there, but hadn't really used that game dev degree to work on personal projects like I'd kind of expected to. So thought this would be a good way to force myself to stick to something on the side for longer than just like a weekend of messing around with something. So
yeah. So what are you working on then?
So it's a kind of old school survival horror sort of thing, like Resident Evil 1, Silent Hill, PS1 era sort of thing. Ultimately, I'd like kind of the vision for it, I guess, is for it to be like a randomly generated one of those. So like kind of roguelike-ish with keys in different spots every time, and different room layouts and different enemies in different spots, just to kind of throw people off and make it surprising every time. As of right now, the rogue-like-ish sort of stuff, that's not really feasible in, a month of working on the game once a week. But I'm really happy with how far it got as far as the basics. You can run around and pick up ammo and reload your gun and shoot zombies. I made like if you remember in like the oldest Resident Evils, how you could like stand still and aim up to get the headshots, and stuff like that. Like that's in there, which is pretty neat.
Ooh, that's cool.
So like a risk reward of like, standing still, you can fine aim and move up and down, and even made like a little bit of an aim assist, which isn't something I'd ever worked on before, but like while you're standing still, it'll kind of like focus in on the zombie for you.
Here's a really dumb question. How do you do that? If you say like, okay, I want to get like that Resident Evil aim up style thing, do you just like start Googling around to see if other people have tried to do similars? Or
yeah, so the other aspect of my goal was to give myself even more accountability besides just, having to call in here and defend my progress. I've been streaming it weekly just to like make sure I'm on a set schedule, basically. And a lot of those streams ends up being Googling Unity aim up and down C#, just like stuff like that. Like that's something that people don't talk about a lot with game dev, is that one of my professors in school really drilled in, like, don't reinvent the wheel. It is not stealing, to look up how someone did something and apply it to your own code. If someone has already figured out how to do something, it doesn't make sense to build it all up from scratch in, especially for me, probably a dumber way. If you try to do it from scratch, you'll find smarter solutions have already been found to most things by looking them up. So
yeah, oh, that's awesome.
It's a lot of Googling. Yes.
And I saw that you were trying to get like PS2 or PS1 scan lines or something in there as well.
Yeah. So that was something that, again, that's something where I was able to Google it. First thing I Googled was what was the resolution of PS1 games, which off the top of my head, I think it's like 320 by 240 or something for PS1 games.
Yeah.
So making Unity, 2020 version of Unity or whatever, telling it, no, I don't want it to look good. I want it to be 320 by 240, please. And then there were plugins I found that are basically like shader material packs that you can kind of apply to your own things. And that's not like a direct plug and play. You still have to do some work to it. One quick little hurdle I found with that is that pre-made shader someone made for making things look like kind of PS1 fuzzy on the edges. By default in Unity, you can't have those objects cast shadows if you're using that shader. And you kind of want shadows for like a Resident Evil style game.
Right.
So that's going to be something I have to fix, which my dumb idea I've not implemented yet is I'm probably going to end up making invisible skeletons of every character that have a different shader that cast shadows. So that'll be fun. So yeah, in general, it's a lot of, taking it step by step of what the next weird little problem to solve is, and Googling around and trying to figure out what the either the easiest or the smartest solution is for that.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, man. That sounds really cool. So it's going faster than you expected?
That's a good question. So the way I had phrased it in the the document to keep track of how everyone's goals are doing, which you can check out on the MinnMax Discord in the BetterQuest channel.
Oh.
The way I phrased it originally for the goal was like, oh yeah, I'll have like a playable, shareable demo after a month that I can, send to people and have them test it out. Like, obviously that's not where it is. I mean, technically I could send you an EXE and you could walk back and forth and shoot the one zombie that's there. But I think, yeah, it's been good as far as getting, the core of it all working in as little as I'm working on it. I'm really just doing once a week for like 2 or 3 hours. So I've been pretty happy with how it's gone. Happy enough at least to say that I leveled up, even if it doesn't fit the exact wording of what I had originally pitched.
I think you did it, man. Well, hey, congratulations. That sounds like a really cool project. So hats off to you, man. You're smarter than we are.
That's not true, but thank you. It's like I said, it's a lot of Googling. Anyone, even like on the stream titles I've been putting, literally anyone can do this. If you watch me, it is a lot of Googling how to do things and just looking at the screen going like, that doesn't make any sense for 45 minutes until something works. So yeah, anyone can do it.
That's awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much for... Yeah, please do. And thanks for your support, John. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care. Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Goodbye. Would you ever make a game, Cork?
What about with like the new Nintendo thing?
Did you? Okay, so you checked out of gaming news, but you saw that freaky thing?
I watched your reaction video to it.
Oh, fresh. Isn't that a fun, weird thing?
Yeah.
What is it called? Game Maker Garage? Game Builder Garage? And it's, coming out of the Nintendo Switch in June. I mean, would you dink around with that?
I've tried all of those things, and then I'm curious to see what turns me off of this one.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be the programming analogies. Hello, Wigsphere.
Hello.
Thank you for calling in, Wigsphere.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, calling in again. We talked to you a while ago about your wonderful online art store, all that fun stuff. And
yes.
You let us use your art as a thumbnail a couple episodes ago of the fox in space.
Yes, and I've been drawing more foxes in space.
You're like obsessed. It's just all work and no play except with foxes in space. So that's cool.
That means the Star Fox series is right for me.
Yep, that's true. Keep dreaming. Your goal was something that seems very reasonable and very human, and it's very appropriate, which is some good old-fashioned spring cleaning.
Yes, my April plan was to be responsible with stuff. I've moved 3 times in the last 3 or 4 years to different apartments, and I feel like I've slowly been downsizing, but then I keep running into boxes of things that I just, could do without.
Yeah.
Can you give us something? I managed to condense my DVD and Blu-ray collection. I bought a new 16-pack of, little short container for the Blu-rays that I don't need the box art for. So that was a good downsize.
That's nice. It's I gotta say, I'm in a weird spot where at like our lake place, which sounds much fancier than it is. It's a garage basically on a lake. We have like a DVD player out there. And so now I'm just always on the hunt for used DVDs, and it's very fun because in every store, they're just like $2 each. And so it's just like the best shopping about like, oh, this crap that literally nobody wants anymore, but I am so eager to like build up my crappy DVD collection out there. So it's like, I got like Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And then this last weekend, I found Jackass 1 and 2 on DVD. I'm like, that is the perfect thing to have on in the background as you're drinking.
Are you going to like Menards and Fleet Farm, like that kind of thing, those giant bins?
Yes, that is exactly the level of like digging through trying to find some good stuff. That. So Wigsphere, if you just want to send all your crappy DVDs out to me, I'd really appreciate it. If you have Jackass 3, you'd be a lifesaver. I need to complete the trilogy. Finish the fight.
I'll have to look through my fiance's DVD collection to see if he has that. I don't think I do.
Will you settle for People of Bam?
I do have the Jane Austen classic Sense and Sensibility if you would like that.
Yeah, that's good. Is Steve-O in that one?
Maybe in the background.
Okay, do you have another good item where you're right on the bubble about like, do I toss this or do I keep it? I might need it in the future.
So I have a lot of tennis memorabilia because I worked in college tennis for a while.
Oh, interesting.
I have a French Open poster from the 1980s, and it looks really cool, and I have it framed, but I also wonder if I'm ever going to need to decorate with that ever again.
That's a really tough one. Like that level of thing in your house that you're so attached to and you know is cool, but there's just no place for it.
Yes, and it is big poster sized, so I have to be committed to a lot of wall space when I put it up, and I haven't since I moved again.
Yeah. Well, best of luck with that. But hats off to you for cleaning out the house, doing the Lord's work there.
Thanks. I have more work to do on that, but I've borrowed a lot of furniture from my grandparents when I moved out on my own about 10 or 12 years ago, and I think other relatives now want some of that stuff, so I had to figure out how to transport it. So that's all part of the plan as well.
Yeah. Right on. Well, thanks for being a member of the MinnMax community. Do you have anything you want from us in the future? Any strong opinions?
Ooh.
Oof.
I've really enjoyed this. I'd like to give a shout out to the Good Eats section of MinnMax if anyone isn't on there regularly.
The Discord, yeah.
Yeah, on the Discord, I learn a lot about food, and another one of the things I want to do is learn how to meal plan, so I'm going to hope that the people there can help me out this month.
Oh, that's awesome. When I messaged you to see if you wanted to be on the show, you said you were busy cooking from a Star Wars cookbook.
That is correct.
Is that part of that whole push?
Yeah, I bought it last summer when I had a staycation because no one was going anywhere last summer, but I felt like when I was cooking Star Wars food, it was like I was somewhere else. So for May the 4th, I went ahead and pulled the book back out and made some Parwan Nutri-Cakes.
Parwan? What is that? Not Padawan?
Basically, it was like falafels, but flattened and very, very easy to make, a nice vegetarian meal, and apparently it's the food of bounty hunters if you read the description.
Oh.
I do recommend, so the cookbook that I have is for the new Disneyland area of the park, and the woman who wrote it just writes cookbooks for fantasy and sci-fi series and franchises, and I have to think that's got to be the best job in the world.
Yeah, what a weird gig. I just Googled Parwan to see what this creature is that it's based on, and it is a sentient life form in the Star Wars universe that is one of the dopiest looking things.
It looks like he's got like bacon for arms and legs, and he's got a mushroom head and like a butternut squash body.
So otherwise known as delicious.
Well, I'll be honest, I hope that doesn't become me in the future now that I've eaten that, but I'll let you know.
Okay,
I think
please
it
let us
says
know.
that on the description. You will become this if you eat that. So
well, I should have read the whole details then.
Yeah, those are the details. Cool. Well, thanks so much for calling in, Wakesphere. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
If you're wondering, hey, how come those people get to call in? Basically, what we do is every month we just go through the spreadsheet that's in that Discord and find people that have cool goals and stand out in some way, and then cool goals, and then reach out to them on the Discord. So if you are participating in BetterQuest, there's a pretty good shot we'll call you up at some point. So jump in. The water's fine, everybody. Other community members and their goals here. We got Rock Party. His goal is to use a CPAP every day. Go Fish, his goal is to run 3 miles a day and no soda for the month. The Smack is meditating once a day. Hell yeah. If you're listening to this while you're meditating, you got to turn the podcast off, the Smack, but we appreciate it. Steve L. is going to finish the manuscript for his second book. James Martin is going to finish the screenplay for a pilot of a TV show. That's very cool. DJ Tommy Pizza 92 is going to run 7 miles per week, lift weights for 1 hour a week. Jesus. And Nubby is getting back into music production. just a sample in Cork of what people are up to.
People do good stuff.
People do a lot of good stuff, including this character. This character known as, wait, what was that Star Wars guy? I already forgot the stupid name, Padawan. No, this person that we called up last month named CrabPalace.
Yeah.
And he reached out to me and sent me something where he's like, hey, I made this as like a BetterQuest thing, and I didn't mention it on my call, but just in case you want to take a listen, do you want to listen to a song by CrabPalace, Cork?
Yes.
I dare you to say no. All right, here we go. Let's enjoy. Cereal, can you live if we give it to Inspector Cheeks?
I live.
Congratulations to CrabPalace. You get this awesome Donut County vinyl soundtrack. Look at this sucker.
I know one day I'll be the best, getting better all the time thanks to BetterQuest. I never been to the Midwest. Anadia's got me feeling refreshed. Leo Vader, what's later? Hanson is the great dictator. Marky a father, enchilada. Serial Vasquez is my father. You can find me dancing when the theme song is starting. Kyle got a job doing something in marketing. Okay. Now listen. I am a fan, but tell best friend Ronnie to stop eating sand. Games, friends, getting better. Games, friends, getting better. Games, friends, getting better. Eating sand, getting better. It's CrabPalace, inventor of Inspector Cheeks. Still proud of when I got question of the week. I won the Donut County soundtrack on vinyl. I still call it country by mistake all the time though. Oh, just me? It can't be. I'm sorry, I'm only a $2 supporter. I need to save my money for the PS5 pre-order. I've got a good job, so I should be able to afford the problem is I spend too much money on bubbly water.
There we go.
Good job, CrabPalace.
Oh, God. Thank you, CrabPalace, for writing a masterpiece. That getting better at eating sand part absolutely kills me. Fantastic work. And I was trying to figure out, like, what is the Inspector Cheeks? I remember it was an old question we had on the podcast, which now that if you're vaccinated, get vaccinated, everybody, because then you can play Inspector Cheeks. Cork, he said that he played this game with his friends, and it sounds like genuinely the funniest thing you can do on planet Earth. Where what you do is, it's a drinking game with your friends where all right, so you have like 4 people line up, right?
Yes.
One of them takes a gigantic swig of beer, fills their mouth with beer. So it's like this, like pufferfish mouth with beer. And then the 3 other people just inflate their cheeks the same amount. And then one person comes up and it's like Russian roulette, and they have to go up to somebody and just push their cheeks up. They choose the wrong person, then it's just beer spat all over them. Which sounds so funny.
It's called Inspector Cheeks.
Inspector Cheeks.
That's really good.
But he told us about it like end of February 2020. He's like, I need to wait over a year until I can finally play Inspector Cheeks. But by God, I'm going to do it because it sounds so fun.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. That's such a good idea.
That's very good. Speaking of good ideas, we're going to set some new goals for ourselves in the month of May.
True.
Jeff Cork, wow me with a goal, Daddy.
This is not an original goal because like everyone else out there, I sleep once a day.
Interesting.
Usually the nighttime, okay? But I do it poorly, I would say.
Okay.
I'm tossing. I'm turning. I'm waking up constantly. I'm always tired, Ben Hanson.
You do yawn a lot.
I do yawn a lot. So my goal is get my sleep figured out to the point where I think I'm going to talk to a professional and ultimately get a handle on sleep.
Do you have, is it a matter of like a CPAP machine? Like,
I don't know.
You're going to have to do one of those sleep studies where like they watch you sleep or whatever?
Yes, I would like to do that.
That sounds so uncomfortable.
Really?
I mean, I think you should do it and I support you fully, but the idea of like sleeping in front of strangers as they take notes or whatever the hell science does, that seems so bizarre.
I would hope they have a machine that they can then refer to later and not watch me for Like with a clipboard in a completely lit room.
That's what I'm imagining. Just like some alien abduction nightmare.
Hey, are you awake? Okay, subject says he's still awake. Hour 5. I'll try again in 5 minutes.
So, do you have any ideas? Like, how long has this been an issue?
I don't think I've had a good night's sleep in like decades.
What? You just wake up constantly or what?
I constantly wake up, yeah.
And it's not like a bathroom thing.
Mm-mm.
You just like toss and turn.
Toss and turn.
Okay. So the goal is go to a doctor.
Get the sleep thing figured out. Maybe they'll give me some like knockout pills. Maybe they'll say, you ding dong, don't drink that coffee before you go to bed.
Yep, that seems important.
Okay. But there's got to be something.
Okay, and specifically it's doctor visit. Doctor
Visit is actually the name of the physician I'm going to be seeing.
Good. Well, hey, I hope to have you on next month and get you well rested. You're going to be bright-eyed and
I might be
bushy-tailed.
wearing a little sleep mask.
Oh, very cute.
Over my eyes, not the CPAP.
I understand. Boy, my goal this month, the weird thing, Cork, is you can like pick anything, man. It can be anything under the sun.
Posture. You got to work on your posture.
My what?
Your posture.
So I think I'm layering crap on here, which I feel like is a less powerful goal, but in some ways it's more stuff. So here's what I'm doing. Number one, being militant again about the timers on my phone, because I've gotten into the big like ignore for 15 minutes to keep using social media apps, which I think was my second goal ever with BetterQuest. Was I made it so that, you know, I could only use my social apps on my phone for like 2 minutes or something. I don't even have Facebook or Twitter on there or anything, but just like Slack and all that stuff. It gets bad reading comments endlessly. So locking that down and then doing squats every time I go over. So it's that, right? So hang on, let me make sure this is written down. And then also, before Kelsey even shared hers, I am going to share hers as well, where I want to be out of the bed before my girlfriend leaves every day for work.
This is one that I did not, this is a safe place for people, but I just want to make sure I understand this.
Yeah.
Because this concept it does not make sense to me, and I want to understand. So you wake up.
Yes, sir.
You stay in your bed for like an hour when you're awake?
Yeah. 45 minutes easily.
And you're not like trying to go back to sleep, you're just laying there?
Yep. I'm just laying there thinking, maybe in like some weird fetal position or something. Absolutely. Yeah.
I would recommend having terrible night's sleep so that when you finally realize it's time to wake up, you leave in a huff and you look back over your shoulder, just disgust on your face.
Yeah, and then you have
you did it again.
A single match that you flick behind you as you walk away and it explodes.
It's a Zippo lighter, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
So interesting. So you stay in bed. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's odd and it feels terrible. But here's the kicker though. Getting out of bed before I hear the crappy automatic locks on my door as my girlfriend locks the house again, which is just like this, and it's just like the worst sound ever. So out of bed before that happens every morning. This is like weekday stuff. And then also 10 minutes of jumping rope every morning.
Really?
Because I took boxing classes years ago and I really enjoyed it. The jumping rope was definitely a lesson of like, oh, this kicks my ass in a way I never thought possible. And so I bought a jump rope, but then I have not had ceilings in a place I could use them.
That's the thing.
And so now that I have like a backyard, I'm going to get out of bed every morning early and then jump rope for 10 minutes in the backyard. But it's like, it's cold. I mean, it's going to be like, in May here, it's going to be like 39 degrees or something. But I'm going to do it. It's going to be like a real Rocky situation out there, like him and that meat plant.
Yeah. The meat plant.
And then also, I'm going to stretch every day. Not yoga. We'll save that for a future goal, but I want to stretch my legs in particular every day because I'm getting back into running and I don't want my legs to fall apart.
These things all dovetail into one another beautifully. So you wake up, You stand up out of bed immediately.
Hey, could you sing this like Paul McCartney Day in the Life, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Woke up, fell out of bed.
Yep.
Touched your toes and then your head and then your toes again. And then found your way backyard and skipped some rope.
Yep.
And then did some dope.
Yep. Noticed I was late.
Doing some dope. Yeah. Very cool.
I heard this story, Cork. Well, who knows if it's true? I'll just assume it is. But somebody in a podcast was talking about how he heard Paul McCartney say one time that apparently the first time the Beatles got high, Paul McCartney apparently had this moment where he's just like, oh my God, I figured it out. I figured out life. And so he had like an assistant in the room and he's like, hey, come here. And then he took a piece of paper and he wrote down the secret to life. And he's like, I'm going to hand this to you. Don't let me forget about this. No matter what, please give this to me. Do not let me forget about this when I'm sober. The assistant goes, okay. And the assistant didn't see him for like days. But then like 4 days later, he's like, Mr. McCartney, I have that note with the secret of life on it. You said you wanted to see it. Paul McCartney's like, oh yeah. Like, he didn't even remember what he wrote down. And so he got the note and he opened it up and it said, there are 7 levels. The worst.
There are 7 levels.
That's it.
And then it resets, but it's slightly faster.
Yeah, I guess how it works. And yeah, William Garcia watching us live with Backstage Pass points out that, yikes, jumping rope straight out of bed sounds like hell. Well, when you put it like that, wait a minute. Yeah, this sounds hellish. But yeah, that's it. That's going to be my hell month. Just some cardio right out of the gate. But like, you know, running in the morning right now, I think it's still going to be too cold. But 10 minutes in a jump rope, I think I can do that. And I think I'll look really
What
cool.
time are we talking? Like,
This is like 7.
it's not that cold right now. You'll be fine.
This morning, in my cute little boxers with pictures of Jeff Cork all over them, I just went out at 7 this morning and just stood in the backyard for a while, like just in my boxers to be like, what is this like? It was a little cold, Cork.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be a stretch, but I'll do it. And then I'll do a stretch after that. So that's my goal for the month of May. Please set your own goal and jump in that Discord and share it with folks, and we can hold each other accountable. Cork, do you want to change up the formula at some point in the future?
How so?
Janet Garcia is a real firecracker, and I feel like she'd be a great host. No, I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun if we picked each other's goals next month?
If we pick each other's goals?
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Let's do it.
Would you do that?
Yeah, but not like that English TV show where they like people pick tattoos for the other person and they're like the meanest ones possible. Like that. We're thinking about things that are reasonable and fun but challenging, okay?
Yes, that's exactly right. I think that's a good idea. Cool. All right. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this. Thank you for supporting MinnMax and our weird little show all about getting better. Look, I know it's not a ratings bonanza, but you know what it is? It's a heart bonanza. And that BetterQuest community is the best community within the already wonderful MinnMax community within the Discord. So thanks to everybody in there for doing a great job and submitting their goals and updating their goals in that spreadsheet. And keep at it, everybody. Yes, Cork?
Yeah, keep at it, everybody.
Great. And Cork, I look forward to your review of Before Your Eyes on the next episode as well.
Oh, that's my other goal.
Play this one short game.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Thanks for watching, listening, everybody. We'll see you next month. Be good, have fun. Let's go. You can help support Independent Games Media by subscribing to MinnMax on YouTube here, or you can support us over on Patreon to unlock exclusive shows like MinnMax Council. You can call into our podcast. You can put a picture of your choice on every MinnMax video, or you could have us plug your passion project on the MinnMax Show podcast. MinnMax is a Patreon about games, friends, and getting better, and we exist because of you. Any help telling a friend's appreciated.